Right then, well, I just got done with my my purchasing. As I mentioned, I might show some people this marketplace that I come to on occasion. Haven't been here for quite a while, but I know quite a lot of the dealers from the auction house circuit, and so generally, like as they do, I purchase things from an auction house, and I don't have to pay the premium sort of thing. But a number of dealers come along that I don't know, or I only see on occasion, and you never know what they're going to bring. So I've done my purchasing today. I've got a beautiful biwa all wrapped up in bubble wrap in there. That's all sorted. I've got this awesome kayaki no ki kaya wood go board, and in that bag there's some stones for it. I've got this two nokogiri pull saws. One here is huge. It's one of those ones that are designed to cut like really big logs and just really straight, that's awesome. So if some of you daikudogu guys out there, carpentry, into tools and stuff, yeah, that's what you want. Absolutely. Got a couple of these rests, go board arm rests. I managed to find this one here. This is an antique. It's beautiful. Found this box here. In fact, all I wanted was really just the box. It's got a whole bunch of just sort of hodgepodgey kind of tools. A lot of them are old and nice and good. So I said to these young guys, what do you want for the lot? It's got some nice chisels too in there. And there's a kana in there. I haven't even looked in it. I tell you, I had to carry this thing from all the way nearly at the end of the market. I carried this. That's pretty tough. So I'm gonna fill it with some kana, some wood planes like that, and make a compilation. Make sure that blade's not sticking out too much. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I've got this really wild Hanya mask. Now this was actually at a temple, a Buddhist temple. That was, or was it a shrine? He said, I can't remember now. It might have been maybe it was a shrine. It was one of those, a temple or a shrine, and that was there. That's made out of wood. That's beautiful. It's only got a tiny little nick in there. That's the only flaw that I've seen. It's amazing. That's wood carved, and that's wow. And those guys mentioned it to me because they saw me carrying this. Check this out, huge. That's Tengu, the mischievous mountain goblin. That's also hand carved, and so that's a beauty. I'm gonna have to get a decent price for that, and that's gonna have to go via air mail because of size. I'm gonna have to build a framey thing to protect it. Let's see. Yeah, as I say, I got two of those nokogiri pull saws, and I got this awesome old box here, Kirin beer, Kirin Bilu. Now I know that this is Taisho period, 1912 to 1926, because after the Taisho period, the katakana here would be going toward the right, but this goes towards the left. Kirin Bilu. So that's old school. Now, I found this to be quite amusing. Real deal antique Buddhist bell. Got a couple of little holes in there. Doesn't affect the sound. The sound's good. It's got lots of nicks and bonks. This is crazy old. It might be Edo period, 1603 to 1868. It might be early Meiji period, 1868 to 1912. But in likelihood, it's Edo period. In fact, the guy had all these like pin type things in them. I don't know what you call those things. There's some sort of sharp things, and studs. Yeah, that's what you call them. A whole bunch of it was filled with studs. And I said to this bloke, I said, would you sell that on its own? He was quite bewildered by it, and so we ended up pouring all these studs out. And I checked the sound; it was good, and he gave me a price, and it was reasonable. And I decided, because we poured all these stud pins out, that I felt obligated I should buy it, and so I did. So I'm going to have to ask a fair amount for it, but that's the real deal. That's awesome. Okay, let's go and have a look at this market, shall we? Yeah, oh, check this out. I had a look at this little rig back here. Very rare do you find these kind of old school. That's a Datsun Sunny. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Very rare do you find old school Japanese rigs in this land now. I do know a couple of guys that dealers with cars, mechanics and stuff. There's one guy who's got this thing that's unbelievably beautiful. Sort of looks like what the Japanese had a look at British sports cars in the like 50s or 60s or something, went, right, you do that, we're going to improve that, make something beautiful. Unbelievable. Anyways, let us have a look at this particular market. Now this place here is called Hakozaki Jinja, which means Hakozaki Shrine. You can see that huge tolley down there. There's another tolley over there, and there's a water over there and whatever. Now all the way up there is the Hakozaki Jinja, which is the shrine, and you'll find that this is all kotohin. So minasan koko ni, everyone here are antique dealers, and this goes all the way for about, like, what is it, 500 meters or something like that, of shop after shop. And the astute antique dealer, the astute buyer, not everything is antiques, but that's predominantly the theme. The astute buyer, you will find, has quite the opportunity to purchase all kinds of amazing things, whether for oneself or to have themselves quite the business. And you'll see that that's nice, isn't it? Your koi, huge, beautiful things. Like when I first get here, the plan is I scope it out. Actually, I saw there's some guys here just over there and over there and over there. I just saw this week, I've been to like 5 auctions this very week, and you find that a lot of these chaps do these market circuits. You find very, very few foreigners here. I just met that girl earlier from Poland, she said. Very few foreigners here, or at least the noticeable ones. Until I ran into a chap I know on the markets, on the auction circuit just recently, just before, and he's Korean, so but you don't really notice them. But, have to go for a bit of a wander. There's a few things that I'm considering purchasing. I've just spent like way too much already. Like that biwa cost me quite a lot. Now I was told just earlier, because I found this Ayari spear and the guy didn't have the blade for it, and I saw a chap I know that at the end of the market here, like the ones that have been here for the longest are all up further. Actually, there's a train station right there called Hakozaki Miyamaya Eki, and so you can know this bloke. He's a dealer of. Here he is over there. He's a dealer of. He's a gun dealer by his real trade. I bought a go board off this bloke over here, and that rest also, the antique rest. This fellow, I mentioned to him that I was after a yari, a spear, and he said the police came recently, and someone got hurt by or maybe got nicked or something like that by a katana, a real one, and so they changed the rules, and now you can't have bladed weaponry here. And there was a guy here that used to sell specifically katana. Now I do know places to get them, but I was a little bit disappointed because I've actually bought years ago. I haven't been in this market for years, but years ago I bought a yari spear from here, and I figured there'd be a good opportunity to purchase another one. But unfortunately, bladed weaponry are out now. I wonder where that guy, he had it was an Edo period yari. It was a real deal spear, but just didn't have the blade. So whether someone would be interested in it, and may have their own blade inserted might be cool. But I kind of forgotten where his store was. There's so many of them. I know this to be a Firefighter, Japanese Firefighter gear. That's cool. Really thick and cool. All kinds of groovy, old school ceramics. They're old school kind of material, which is often very expensive. These are tsuba or katana. So I said Suba's alright, you can sell those. That's what this guy was mentioning to me earlier. I've kind of done the rush pick, and I've kind of planned to go for a bit of a slower pick now, in order to, you never know what you're going to find, like all kinds of tools and bits and pieces I could in likelihood find. This is takoyaki, so that's really yummo. And there's another little store over there. I think that's I'm not so sure what that is. So that there would be a replica katana, or in likelihood a real deal, but with the blades removed, and they have a piece of wood in there instead. As many swords were after World War II were cut. I've seen many of them were cut, and lots of them have just the a wooden piece in there to represent it as the blade. And I lost my train of thought there. I was looking at something over there. I might have to investigate. Thing is, generally when I look at things, I've got to kind of pretend that I'm not really interested in it, so it doesn't cost me that much. Chotto video sir. He's one of the chaps on the circuit. This is the fire god. He's cool. I guess I really should have slowed down a bit and actually showed you some of the stuff here, but there's just that many things. It's like we'll be here all day. So you have to this is just treasure island. Loads of cool gear. And you got here some antique clocks. I do purchase those for my store in Australia. I like those. This is some gas mask from, what's that? That'll be American, I guess. I did have one years ago that was the real deal Japanese. It's an old school rice cooker, but it's all banged up. I've spent way too much anyways today, so I really shouldn't be considering. So there's some wooden katanas there, and you have some replicas there. I like these. These are shochu or sake jugs. It's probably from 1930, something on those lines. Some beautiful vases here like that. Some really nice things. There's a shamisen over there. I've got a couple of old banged up ones in my warehouse. I plan to sell them. I'll sell them on really cheap, and maybe someone will want to repair those. Hakozaki, the ginger, the shrines up there. We'll even go and have a look if the battery power's alright. I did charge this thing up. And I was one of those foreigners. I nearly freaked out when I actually looked up and there was a camera there, so I didn't film her. Oh, there's another fire god in there. Cool. Fire god. Kakui mono, huh? That's cool. Color Ikura? Ikura? Takai?
38枚。
ほんと。いいものね。Yeah, fire god. いいもの。He's Kakui. Check him out. Good price. These things go for quite the premium these days. Iron pots, some of them sell for thousands. Hey, Mama-san, hello. ちょっとビデオするね。いいもんね。そうよ。今日たくさんもの買ったよ。いっぱい。じゃあ、来月来ますね。17。そうよ。17. Okay. Well, I'll be seeing you, yeah? Kakui. You can be a movie star, mate. Movie star. Done there. Hi, hi. They come from, they had a big shop called Shobadol years ago. And that lady and her husband, I just call her Mama-san. I've known them for years. And in fact, when I first started selling things, this guy mentioned on this message board thing, this motocross message board thing, he says, oh, you should sell stuff on eBay. And I'm like, what's eBay? That was years ago. And the very first purchase and sale was from that lady and her husband. So, and because I knew of their antique shop. So that's how long ago that was. These things surprisingly are starting to sell for quite a premium too, the old Kokeshi. Shit. I know this chap over here, he's really cool. I like these must be worth quite a bit. I think might be Imari. Imari wear. Nice and beautiful. Call you Imari. This guy's cool. I like it. Imari.
もう今焼き物が売れない。
売れない。
何でも売れない。
全然わかんない。
だんだん不景気な。
あ、ほんと going down. じゃあ神社行きます。See you later. Oh, this is cool. These are made out of these yakimono. These are there's a lot of contentment there. They are really beautiful. It's a shishi made out of it's a ceramic piece. They're really cool. I could have shown you some really awesome stuff, but it just would have taken so long. You'd have to spend the day here yourself. Now what we have here is Hakozaki Ginger. There's the old shishi right there. That's a really old design. And the shishi here. That's a really old design right there. Might be a bit difficult to see it from here. This thing's still rolling? Yeah, it's rolling. Check this out. That's where they wash their hands there. And face. Right there, and do their washing. Movie star. Movie star. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna do that. Oh, nice. Look at that. She dressed up well.
Yes. Okay.
Movie star. Hello. Movie star, yo. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All that, what do you call it? Chicken wire, I guess you'd call that. That's to stop the birds from roosting in there. And you'll find all these paintings are centuries old. Just gorgeous. This is one of the major, check this out. This is one of the major shrines in the city of Fukuoka. And when people say, like, where do you live in Japan? I say Fukuoka, I immediately say, that's not a swear word. There's the Emperor's seal right there. Wow, look at that. Check that out. That's a representative. That's a Shinto priest. And you'll find recently I had a really cool Shinto priest sculpture that I sold. I've only ever found one of those. And I'll try and find one again someday. And that's sold to a really cool chap, and he's very happy with it. So that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Take all. There's a priest over there. There's two bowing. You see over there, you see the masks, that's sort of like a Tengu. There might be a Tengu over there. Now, that thing that I've got in the back of my truck, about the same size as those. So as you can see, depending on whom of you are watching this, I'm gonna list it. So heads up to you if you're lucky enough to be seeing this. I've got one and I'll be listing it very soon. So that's for you to know. Just have a bit of a glance, try not to get in the way too much. People praying, and this wild looking guy Jin's just filming everywhere. Oh, I won't get in the way. Let's see if we can get a sneak preview from this side. There's a priest over there, see? It's a beautiful taiko. There's two of them right there. I was going to go that way, it's just quite a few people doing their praying thing, so I figure what I'll do, I'll go around this way or something. The smaller kind of shrines here, shrines within shrines. Look at that, that's awesome. There are some shrines, right, where a lot of these eaves have got arrows in them, like broken off arrow stems, arrow, what do you call them, shafts, and due to like competitions, like the samurai competing against each other and firing arrows into these eve things, you know, and it became quite famous to do so. A friend of mine said he's going to show up at 1 o'clock, so it's what, 12:25 now, so plenty of time to waltz around and show you what I do. And as I say, it's not just a business, it's a lifestyle. And it's beautiful. The craftsmanship is just amazing. Those of you back to business, it's business and lifestyle. I've recently seen some of my videos. I will be listing some really cool tools, and also you'll find that those tools I just showed you in the back of the rig, a couple of nokogiris there. In fact, I've got 3 that I haven't listed now. And plenty of chisels and planes, and nomi and kana, and got those wooden boxes that I'll be sorting out. And I guess it'll probably end up being 4 listings of just the chisels and the planes, and then I'll get those saws listed too. In fact, just recently I've bought so many things. Like I've been to what is it now this week? 5, 6 things. Hang on. That auction, and that auction, and that auction, and that auction, and this market. 5 different places. And I can tell you, I've spent way too much, so I really need to sell a whole bunch of that stuff in order to remain in shoes and keep myself fed in order to continue doing this, which is, as you can see, Japan's just fantastic, isn't it? It's in Japan great. I mean, last month, you know, over the course of the month, last month, all kinds of typical tragedies happen. I was pretty ticked off, but I went on a reverie, had a whole bunch of boozy poos, and I woke up a couple of weeks later or whatever it was. All fine. Still going through all these hassles, but I'll just keep fighting away. I can hear them chanting in there. Need you in the 22nd year of Heisei, which was not so long ago. That's only about 8 years ago or something. 7 years ago. They're saying something like that. I don't know if you could hear what they were chanting, but that's what they're doing in there right now. See if we can get a bit more of a glance. Yeah. Don't know if you can hear it, but nice, huh? Well, that's that. That is Hakozaki Jinja. That's the Hakozaki market. And you'll find that it's generally every month. Unless it's really cold, I think. Something like that. Alright, I guess I'll switch off now. And I think I might go and get a bit of a feed. And then I'll be at the warehouse later this evening. We're going to go to the warehouse and sort out some of these listings, I guess. And try and sort out some other things. So you may very well have the opportunity for some tools. I might sort that out this very day, possibly. This is a Sunday. Let's have a look at this. Now I'll see if I can translate all this kanji here. Hakozaki Shrine was founded in 923. Oh, you see, 923. The main building was burned down during the Mongolian invasion. Of 1274, and the shrine also suffered fires on several other occasions. The present inner sanctuary and hall of worship were built in 1546, and the two-storey gate was built in 1594. They have all been designated the cultural assets of national importance. A Mongolian stone anchor is also to be found within the precincts. A Mongolian stone anchor. We might have to go find that. So, let's see, what's that? Japanese, master language, Chinese and Korean, I presume. An anchor. We're looking for a stone anchor. That's an Ishidoro over there. Yeah, stone lantern. Oh, there we go. What's this? Is anyone watching this anyways? You could Maybe you could make a comment. Hey, I like your stuff. I hate your stuff. Can you do more stuff? Can you never do stuff ever again? Can you please just never speak again? You know, whatever. Just put some musical notation up there. Alright, this says kanji, ju, ichi, nen, yon, something, ichi, ni, nana, yon, nen, something or other, that. So that's what that says. Does that look like a stone anchor to you? That does look like a stone anchor to me. And not a word of something that I could decipher. But I do see that this thingy has a cutaway in there, and that over there has a cutaway in there. So that might be a what is known as a stone anchor, possibly. But then again, I'm seeing stone anchors everywhere. Yeah, that says the year right there. What's that? Is that something Sanju Hachinen Go Gatsu something or other? I have here. I have no idea what that is. Beautiful Ishidoro over here. Oh, speaking of taikos, can you hear that taiko? Hear that drum? Recently, bought, just the other day, that's an Ishidoro stone, and bought a an old school taiko. Now, it's from like the Taisho period, 1912, 1926, something like that. I will list it very soon. Unfortunately, it has a bit of a cut. It has a cut in the skin, and it's a really expensive one, made from one piece, very expensive. I mean, it must have been like a few thousand to purchase one of those like that new. I'm going to sell it ridiculously cheap, just silly cheap, because one of the skins has a cut in it. Yet, that's all copper. Look at that, that's beautiful. Wow, imagine if you get all the way down to here and you make a bit of a mistake. Harikiri. But the sound, it sounds perfect on both sides, even with the cut in the skin. So that's a heads up that I do have a very, very cool taiko that I will be presenting, and you might even see it in one of the. Look at that. The script is really hard to see now. Wow. I mean, what has that been sitting there since the 900 or whatever? What does it say? What was it? Established in 928 or something like that? Yeah, so this drum, it's got a stand also. It's really very heavy. It's not real big, but it's a beauty. These are called Koala. Now, I have some of these from a castle, from the castle walls. And much bigger than these. And so if you want to see it, and you're interested, no time wasters, you want to see it, you're interested, I might have two of them. Yeah, I think I might have two. Might have sold one. Might have two. Don't know. In the warehouse somewhere. A real deal from a castle, and from the outer wall they were. And therefore, yeah, if you're interested, I might sell it for $100 maybe, something like that. Aren't these cool? Looks like an advertisement or something. Alright, well, that's that. Oh, well, let's have a look at this thing over here. No one's watching this stuff anyway. In there you buy all kinds of knickknacks. The girls are dressed up in their traditional wear. Over here, this is where you, I think you make a wish or something, and then you tie these things on here. You purchase these things over there and you tie them on here, and that kid's crying. Not too happy. Alright. Absolutely beautiful. Well, that's that. This is the Hakozaki ginger. And next month, December 17th on the Sunday, they will be doing the market once again. Whether I'll be here or not, I don't know, but maybe. You never know. Maybe I'll just run out of money because I just spent way too much this week. But that's all good. Okay. Alright. What does Supenza say? Supenza ZA? Is that what they call? What they call them? ADV China. They're a real cool channel. Check them out. ADV China. These two gaijins and gaijin savages cruise around China on these motorbikes, and they talk about their cities, talk about all things Chinese. It's really cool. And so and at the end of the video they always say, as always, you know the drill, stay awesome.